Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Abu Rashid with you. Peace be upon you all. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the Arabic Quran YouTube channel. In this particular episode, I'm going to be going through some sentences so that you can pick up vocabulary in context. And that is the best way to pick up vocabulary. And I want you to review this content, and then in your own lives, I want you to write and use it in dialogue. And that's the best way to learn vocabulary. Ultimately, is to use it, right? So here you're going to learn it you're going to learn these words in context, and then retain them through usage. So let's get started here. So the first word is matan, okay? And I have a couple of sentences here for that word, the plural being there, mitanun and mutun. And the reason I have these two sentences, separate sentences, because there's at least two main meanings for the word matan, okay? And let's go through the first sentence here. It says, إذا كنت على متن قطار أو حافلة أو سفينة أو طائرة فأنت عليها. Well, what does that mean? Well, in this particular sentence, matan means like a raised platform. Okay, if you're like, even in the old days, matn al-faras, you're on the back of a horse. Okay, matn al-faras. So in the modern day, if you're on a vessel, then it's the raised platform or the deck, we can say. Okay, so let's go through the sentence. We'll do the word by word translation, and then we'll do the sentence level translation. There's two translations we'll go through here, because the word level translation is not ultimately the translation we want. I explained that in the first video, where if you just leave it at the word level translation, then going from the source language to the target language, it becomes kind of clumsy, because each language has its own rules, right, for syntax. All right, so we say إذا is if, okay, if you were ala, the preposition on, if you were on, we can say on deck, board, right? On board a train. L is the conjunction or, a bus, or a ship, or a plane. Okay? Then, so there's two things here, right? There's fa, which is harf al-istinaf, and then there's the pronoun anta. So we say, then you are, and there's two things here. We have a particle, which is a preposition, ala, which becomes alay when it gets joined to the pronoun, and ha, referring to, now, is it alayhi or alayha? For those of you wondering, well, why does he have the feminine there? It usually goes back to the last thing mentioned. And ta'ira, the plane, is feminine. Yes, qitar is masculine, hafila is feminine, safina is feminine, and ta'ira is feminine, but usually it goes back to the last thing mentioned. All right, so are on it, okay? Ala is on, and then ha, it, the pronoun it. So we can say, from a sentence level perspective, if you were on board a train or a bus or a ship or a plane, then you're on it. Simple as that. So matan here is on deck or on board, a raised platform, like you said. Let's look at the next sentence, because matan here will have a different meaning, okay? So let's translate this. We have the verb yajibu. You can say it is a must. It is a must. Ala here is on, but not physically on, but meaning that the responsibility is, falls upon who? The researcher. Al is al, meaning the definite article. The researcher. Okay. To, an here is to verify. حقق يحقق means to verify here. to verify in. Now, we will not translate that in the sentence level in, okay? We would just say the, right? We would skip this. But in Arabic, fi is there. And here, matan is text. So just like, for example, when we say a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it's composed of two things, right? It's composed of the isnad, which is the chain of narrators going back to Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then we have the matan. Okay, so the riwayah, the report, is made up of isnad and matan. Okay, the actual text or the corpus of what's being said. So text of let me write that neater, of the makhtuta is manuscript, makhtutat is the plural, manuscript, the text of the manuscript. Qabl is before, it is a dharf, before. Now there's two things here. It's a mudaf and mudaf alayh, nashriha. Nashr means publishing, and ha means it. So publishing it. Publishing it. للتأكد, two things here. The harf al-jar, lam, and then at-takat. To ensure from two things here. صحتها. صحة means health. But in this context, it means the accuracy of something. Its accuracy. Its accuracy. Okay? So, we could translate it as a sentence level. At the sentence level, we'd say, the researcher must verify the text of the manuscript before publishing it to ensure its accuracy. Okay? So, things like fi and min are not, they don't make it over into the final translation, right? Okay, so let's go to the next word here, which is actually a dharf, or a circumstantial noun of place, what we call in English, fawqa. Fawqa. So here's a simple sentence. طارت الطائرة فوق الجبال العالية. طارت is the verb طار يطير, and it's طارت because it's feminine, so flew. The verb flew. Okay. The plane is the doer here. So the plane is not being flown. Obviously the pilot is flying it, but even in English we say the plane flew, right? So the plane flew, the plane is the doer here. Above, fawqa means above. Okay, it's a circumstantial noun of place. The mountains. And we know that the adjective in Arabic comes after the description. So al-aliya is na'at here, or sifa, and the mawsuf or the man'ud is al-jibal. Okay, so the high, right? So the plane flew over the high mountains. The plane flew over the high mountains. Let's look at another sentence. Okay? Wudi'a. Here it's a past tense passive verb. The past tense active verb, ma'loom form is wada'a. It's an irregular verb, and here it's coming in the majhul form. So when it's passive, it's not placing, but it is being placed. So we say it was placed. It was placed. What was placed? The book. Na'ib fa'il, what we call na'ib fa'il in Arabic grammar, but not going to get into grammar here. The book. It was placed, the book, above the table. The table. Now there's two things here. Bijanib, with next to, but we'll just say next to or beside. The what? Al-misbah. Al-masabih is the plural. The lamp. Oops. The lamp. Okay? So the sentence level, the final result, the final rendition would be, the book was placed above the table beside the lamp, or besides the lamp. Okay, beside the lamp, yeah. The book was placed above the table beside the lamp. So it's indicating the position of where the book was placed, okay? Let's go to our final word here, which is خارج. خارج. Okay, so خارج is another circumstantial noun of place. Let's look at this. إذا ذهبت خارج البلاد فقد ذهبت إلى بلد آخر. Okay, let's look at this. إذا, if you went, so ذهب يذهب, you went, and as I mentioned in the first video, the doer and the verb in Arabic are inextricably intertwined. They're wrapped up in each other. So you don't need to say إذا أنت ذهبت, okay? Or if you want to add emphasis, you could say إذا ذهبت أنت خارج البلاد, okay? But you don't need to. ذهبت itself covers it because the أنت, this ta right here is actually تقديره أنت. It's meaning you. إذا ذهبت خارج, beyond, you can say beyond or outside, or originally you'll see where I'm going with. Now al-bilad is the plural of balad. This is interesting. I want to make a comment on this because this can get confusing for Arabic students, because they'll say, well, bilad and buldan are the plural for balad. Okay, now in Old Arabic, balad, it can refer to, these days balad refers to a country, okay, a large region, a country, a large piece of land. Balad in the past could refer to a city as well. Like, for example, Makkah al-Mukarramah was referred to as baladun amin, right, a safe city, right? So balad is there, right? Balad, that's the singular. Now, one would say, well, why would you say خارج البلاد? Why would you not say خارج البلد, beyond the country, although it's plural? Oops. Because bilad actually these days means countries or lands, right? It's plural. So you wouldn't say in English if you went beyond the countries, if you went beyond the country, or if you went outside the country. If you went out, you don't say if you went outside the countries, but in Arabic you say إذا ذهبت خارج البلاد. Now what that means is that here it's referring to the cities, right? The larger, it's covering your entire balad. So it's a figure of speech to indicate all of the cities that belong to your country. You're going beyond them, okay? So it's not referring to countries per se, but it's referring to balad in the sense of cities. So which cities? The cities of your country. So this is an expression in Arabic. We don't say خارج البلد, you say خارج البلاد, okay? إذا ذهبت خارج البلاد فقد, then indeed you went to, and here it is the singular, to a country other or another. Okay? So إذا ذهبت خارج البلاد فقد ذهبت إلى بلد آخر. If you went abroad, so basically خارج البلاد, you can translate it in English as abroad. That would sound much smoother and better. إذا ذهبت خارج البلاد, if you went abroad, فقد ذهبت إلى بلد آخر, then you went to another country. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. And then let's get to our final sentence. لقد سافرنا خارج البلاد لقضاء عطلتنا الصيفية. لقد, double emphasis here. Indeed plus had. Indeed, we had traveled. Safara, yusafiru means to travel. So safarna means we traveled. We traveled. Okay. خارج البلاد. Actually, I spelled traveled wrong probably. Traveled. خارج البلاد. Beyond. Okay. Actually, we'll say the same thing here. Just to keep it consistent. Let me actually just duplicate this, bring it down here. Okay, so we save some writing. لقضاء. Okay. لقضاء. It's two things here. There's a preposition li. To, the lam is to, spend. So qada here, qada is spend, to spend. And here the na means hour. Okay. Vacation or holiday. Okay. Our vacation or holiday. And here as-sayfiyya, sayf means summer, but here it's been adjectivized, right? So it's an adjective here. It's a not. It's a sifa. So as-sayfiyya. Whereas in English we would say summer, meaning the noun summer, but we can also use summer as an adjective in English. But here, if you want to make a sayf an adjective, you have to say either sayfi if it's masculine or say a sayfiyya if it's feminine. And utla, the plural is utal. Utla here is a feminine, so you say a sayfiyya. Okay, so summer, the summer. Okay, so indeed, we traveled abroad to spend our summer holiday. That's how we would translate that. Okay, and that is it for this episode. Inshallah ta'ala, you benefited from this. We'll see you next time, everybody. Dumtum fi amanillah wa ri'ayati. Peace and blessings upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we'll see you next time on another episode of Arabic Quran YouTube channel. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And don't forget to subscribe and like this episode.